leadership is one of those things that you have to do all the time. And then on the other side of it too is, I know we didn't really get into it today much, but also to be and learn this in the military. To learn to be a good leader, you also have to learn how to, when it's time for you to step back and be a follower. And that's something that, there are times when you go, okay, I'm not the guy, I'm not the decision maker today, right? I'm not the person. So, for instance, like when IEM is a good example of it, being on the board, I can say my piece, right? And then when the decision is made, you go, okay, and then you go along with that decision because there's been a lot of thought process put into it. Leadership isn't being subversive, right? Isn't saying I disagree with this decision, so now I'm going to submarine it everywhere I go. That's not leadership. That's disruptive, and there's ways to get, if there's a decision that was made that was something you disagree with, there's ways to bring it back up and to make change, but it's not by undermining. So if Dan and I are talking and we make a decision and Dan's the guy in charge today, I'm not going to start submarining Dan. That's not leadership at all. That is toxic. That's a
It's far
toxic
from, yeah,
trait.
that's far from leadership.
Hmm. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't build a relationship between Dan and I, and it doesn't build trust between the organization, you, and the organization. It doesn't build trust between other people in that organization because they don't know if you're going to submarine them. You know, so if we make a decision, Dan's the guy in charge, and he says this is what's going to be. I'm like, I might not agree with him, but I'm going to say, okay, this is the decision that we're making. I'm going to support you 100%.
Yep.
You know,
It just good. I mean, the different complexities that go along with it. It also boils down to attitude and personality, and your level of passion and investment that you have in the whole process. Right. The last thing you want to do, even if you feel like it, is to undermine somebody publicly. You know, if you disagree with them, you want to have that conversation offline. That's do it. But publicly, you support, you endorse, you keep your mouth shut if you have to. That's leadership. Sometimes saying nothing is like the best part of
absolutely.
support you can actually provide somebody.